The next question will be posed to Les Simpson. He will be up first. What specifics can you offer to the council to cut the red tape and streamline to make various city processes, such as obtaining building permits, inspections, and approvals, less complex and more user-friendly?
I appreciate that question, because one thing that we're going to have to do and continue to do is make it easier to do business in Amarillo, because there are a lot of challenges. Now, there are some departments that we've worked on where we've, like environmental health, for example, we've done a tremendous amount of working with the local restaurants to be able to streamline that and do that better. But really, that's something that the council is going to have to charge the city manager with being able to do that. But one of the biggest problems, and one of the things that I don't think we've addressed as well as we need to and needs to be addressed, is making it easier to do business in Amarillo. One of the reasons why it needs to be easier to do business in Amarillo is we need more of it, because our largest source of income to run our government is not property tax, it's sales tax. In fact, property tax is something that we need to rely less and less on to be able to run the government. The state has put a limit on how much we can raise that each year. There's some people that are looking at wanting to get rid of property tax, which I don't think anyone will object to. However, we need to come up with other funding to be able to replace that. And sales tax is our number one. There's no limit on it. It's a tax of choice where people can choose to spend or not to spend. And it's something that it is in our future. So anything that we can do to make doing business easier in this community is going to generate more sales tax, is where our future is going to be, not on property tax in the future. Thank you.
I didn't say my name first. My name is Leif Curtis. I'm running for place 4. Being in construction, I have to go get permits quite frequently. Luckily, we've been able to kind of get around and know what strings to pull. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to know that. I think the specifics that we need to do is we need to employ and encourage a community activation to where we're going through these departments. Who's asking for what? What are the reasons? Why are we not doing a root cause analysis on why these people are asking for these building permits, and figuring out who's asking for them and why, and then going through the process and figuring out what we can eliminate. And that's pretty much as specific as you can get, is going down to the root cause analysis, figuring out where the problems are, what can be eliminated, what can be made better. I don't think that it's a quick fix. Unfortunately, just like many problems that we face in Amarillo today, there's very few quick fixes, and this is not one of them. Mr. Simpson is absolutely right. We need to make it easier for business to come to Amarillo and do business. They need to be able to develop in a quicker manner, but a responsible manner as well. And I think we cannot lose sight of the fact that when these businesses are coming in and doing these things, they still have to do it responsibly. And they still have to do it to our standards. And they have to do it safely, and they have to do it for the betterment of Amarillo.
Read place 1. Specifics, when we run in a 2-year cycle, they're easy to talk about and harder to do. Right? And so, when we talk about audits, most of us are familiar with doing an accounting audit. But I would think that it would be important to do that process in different departments within the city. And I'm just going to use building codes as an example. What codes do we have sitting on the books that aren't necessary anymore? That go back 40, 50, 60 years because no one's taken the time to go through and draw a line, kind of like a line item veto. What are the codes that we are following? There are international codes in building that we follow that we don't necessarily have to because we're in the United States. And so we need to look at those things and do an actual audit, not only in the building codes, but in other departments within the city.
Patrick Miller, place 1. You know, as Mr. Reed said, 2 years is a very short time. And in fact, when I was on the Amarillo College Board of Regents, I had to be faced within my first 2 years with a serious budget shortfall to the tune of $3.5 million. And the taxpayers expected me to work with my fellow regents to find solutions. And then we adopted zero-based budgeting. We increased accessibility and affordability while helping to manage a $67 million budget. And we eventually became the Aspen Award #1 winning community college in the nation because of our good stewardship. You know, Mr. Tibbs said that we found the money for firefighters and police, and that is true. However, I sit on the Amarillo Police Department Community Advisory Panel, and I can tell you, with 333 police officers, we are still 27 short of what we need. So there's still more work that needs to be done. As far as having a way to cut through the red tape, I think the citizen advisory boards do an excellent job of having the citizens in charge of that process where they are closely attached to the issues, and then they can respond to the city council and provide us with the updates we need to act accordingly. And in doing so, working with the staff in a collaborative manner, be able to propose solutions which could be passed in the form of ordinances which promote growth. Growth that I was able to help with when I served on the Amarillo College Board of Regents, because in doing so, we collaborated with the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation to create jobs for our city. Cacique and Panama Pure, those were jobs that were AEDC and all taxing entities approved.
Dog Tips, Amarillo City Council Place 2. So making everything more efficient, that is absolutely something that we've done. And to Tim's point, 2 years is rough to get it done, but we're already seeing results. Building permit time is down from where it was 18 months-ish ago. We do have a mayor who is a builder, so he understands this greatly. So we've been doing that. What we've done as well is embrace innovation and technology. As simple as when these inspectors go out to map where they go and what makes sense. None of that sounds simple, but used to it wasn't that way. They would go from one part of town to the other part of town, and that's time wasted. So embracing innovation and technology, what we've done is allow them to map. I know it sounds crazy simple, but we've done that and improved their efficiency to get there quicker. We've also, I would say that one of the biggest things, well, one thing we did recently, and I'll give Mayor credit here, when you use a term that's being used, everybody kicks around, is that we have a kind of Doge committee. You may love it, you may hate it, but it's exactly going through our old ordinances that maybe we don't need, maybe we need to revamp. So we've already started that process. So that's in the process. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that we've done. So ultimately, the city is an organization. It's a customer service organization for you. It is for the builders, it's for the citizens, and that's the way it should be. So what we've initiated this year for the first time is a merit-based pay system. Okay, so crazy. Used to that wasn't the case. Everybody got paid the same. Didn't get paid the same. Everybody got the same raise across the board. Now it's customer service based. It is based on their merit. So if they are falling down on their job, they will not see the raise that they deserve. There's someone that's going to work hard, that's going to get it. It's earned. So that's what we're going to do. There's a new culture to embrace this, to create the efficiencies.
David Prescott, Place 3. You know, I think that the key here is empower the city manager and empower the staff. After several meetings that I've had with the staff, we have an incredible staff at City Hall. We have folks that have institutional knowledge that is second to none, and they're doing a fantastic job. Every 2 years, you get a new set of folks with a whole new set of ideas and how we're going to save the day. Herb Keller with Southwest Airlines, what did he say? Find the best people, give them the best tools, and then just get out of the way and manage. If we're constantly in the way and trying to improve things, and it's a new season every 2 years, how effective is that going to be for the folks that have been doing it for 20 years? And many of you out there in the audience might be those folks that have been there 2 years, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Do we have the institutional knowledge that an individual has that this city council brought from another city to be our city manager? Is that individual the one that needs to be doing most of the heavy lifting and researching these things at guidance from council? Absolutely. That is how I would manage that. In Lubbock, we've talked many times, how is Lubbock so far ahead of Amarillo? Well, they're business focused. They have liaisons that walk new companies that go to Lubbock for building and different things. They walk them through from A to Z to make sure that the process is successful. There's a company, a small business on I-27 right now. It's homegrown. They're doing a fantastic job. They're trying to add 4 bays in Amarillo right now. 6 months ago they applied and they still don't have it done right now. That's a problem. That's not business focused. And if everyone up here says that we need sales tax and different mechanisms to grow this city, why are we not business focused and allowing businesses to get up and running faster? Get the city managers and those folks running. Thank you.
So cutting through the red tape, when it comes to it, luckily I work for a company that just recently moved here from California. So cutting through that red tape was rather interesting. One of the primary reasons I got accepted in the position here is because guess what? I'm from here. I know a lot of people here in Amarillo, and if there's any questions of who do we need to talk to get the answer for this, they didn't know who. This company didn't know who from Adam, who they needed to go to City Hall, who do I need to contact for this, who do I need to contact for that. We have to delineate exactly, to develop an actual business package designed for these large businesses wanting to move over here to Amarillo. So they have a streamline where to go. Also understanding the oversight authorities for these particular businesses. Some businesses that move in here already have countless audits from federal and state entities. Why are we tying down our city personnel to do the same exact inspections? They have their hands full with other items for the city, work for our city. We have to remove that from them. We have to have that trust and understanding what reports they have, what they have growing for them. And that's the kind of red tape that we have to get rid of. Understand where we can repurpose our personnel, because yes, our candidates say this, and talking to the city manager, we have an amazing staff here in the city of Amarillo. I mean, I can reach out to just about any other when they have an answer, and it's amazing. So we are very proud of that, and I appreciate that.
Tom Shorten, I'm place 3. This is a very big issue that I've dealt with over the last 2 years. I probably had more phone calls on this one issue than I have on any other issue. I've been contacted by hoteliers, private residents. People are having trouble navigating the city's system. Now, the city has a system, and we have a good staff, and they know what they're doing. But the problem we have is a communication problem. And we need to work on that so that when we're inspecting, for instance, property, the same inspector goes out the first time, the second time, and the third time. A lot of time what's happening today is an inspector will go out, a different inspector goes out the next time, finds something totally different, and then another inspector goes out and finds something else. So to be truthful, we need to get on the same page within our city. Now, I firmly believe that the city manager has complete control over his staff. It's his job, it's not my job. My job is to maybe ask a question, and that's what I do. I've had a hotelier trying to build a hotel for a year. Do you know how much tax money the city of Amarillo lost because we're just now breaking ground? Lots of money. We could have had this thing built 6 months ago, but we've been fighting City Hall. Now, we can fix this. It's not my job to fix it. It's the city manager's job, and we just need to get together and get on the same page. Thank you. I appreciate it.